friend to the show and a guy that is right on top of it when it comes to Serie A and specifically Giovinco and TFC, Leonardo Molinelli of Corriere Canadese. Leo, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Anthony. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure is all mine. Leo, let's get to it. You and I talked quite a bit yesterday, and we talked about the answers that Giovinco gave me and others, the look of frustration, the look of anger. It spoke of a million words. What did you take out of those answers? What did you take out of that body language from Giovinco yesterday?
I mean, as we discussed yesterday, it seemed to me furious. It seemed that it was furious, and his answers were really, really bad, I guess, for TFC and Greg Vanni. He was frustrated. He seemed frustrated for the team. He said yesterday. He said that the team were inferior to all the other teams, the other clubs. So for me, it was something that TFC should face as soon as possible to avoid something that could be disappointing for the club and the fans.
Which is what, Leo, in your mind?
I guess yesterday he said a few times that he hopes next year to be here. And he just signed a 5-year contract. So if you're happy, you are not hoping to stay here. You are here next year.
I mean, that's a great point you make, Leo. And you and I discussed this. And look, I think he loves the city of Toronto. His family loves it. I think he loves making the money he's making. I think he enjoys the glamour and the glitz that he's getting all over MLS and the feedback he's getting from Europe and European clubs to see how successful he's gotten here. And I think he will give it another season. But I tell you what, Leo, and you and I discussed this, TFC management and coaches better be on alert to what Giovinco wants added to this team to make him happy and to have a successful 2016. Or else, goodbye, he will be headed back to Europe as quickly as you and I can say, ciao, arrivederci, Seba.
Yeah, just keep in mind that he came here at 28 years old. He's not Pirlo that came here like 37 just to have his new way of life, just to try something new. He came here for that, of course, but he came here to win. And he was very happy for this season because he made a lot of goals, he made a lot of assists. He was in all the newspaper, European newspaper, Italian newspaper. He was winning his challenge. Everybody, a lot of people, he was laughing at him in Italy when he came to Toronto. The people were saying he's going to retire in 28. And then he showed to the other people that he was something very good, but he wanted to win. He came from Juventus. In Juventus, they teach you that winning is not important. It's the only thing that matters. So if you don't win, you haven't done anything, and that's what I think is the big problem.
You know, Leo, you make a lot of great points there. What I noticed yesterday when I was in that room was a Giovinco that was upset that a lot of his teammates didn't have that passion, that desire, that grinta, that hunger, that will to do whatever it takes to win at all costs, that focus, that mentality. And the way that this loss in the playoff is an embarrassment to him, I don't think that some of the guys feel as he feels. I'm sure that they feel upset at that loss and some embarrassed, but some are like, well, we did what we could and it is what it is. Giovinco, no.
I think that could be the real point of difference between MLS still and the European leagues. Giovinco came from a top Italian team, a team that last year arrived second in the Champions League, and they teach you that the result is all the thing that counts. All the people here seems to think like, yeah, we did a great job, we lost, okay, next year. And that's good because it's sport, of course. But if you want to win, you have to think that there's anything other than the victory. And that could be a little bit of struggle for Giovinco. I don't think he's going to accept that kind of mentality, and I hope that TFC made the shift toward his idea of soccer, that you have to win. What worried me the most is that after the 3-0 in Montreal, anybody said anything bad against the team. I mean, they made the first year playoff, and that's good. But after 9 years, you waste everything in 45 minutes. As you said, you wait for 9 years to came there, and after 30 minutes already finished. That's ugly.
Absolutely ugly, una grande vergogna, as they say in Italian, an embarrassment of proportions, and I think that's what stings Giovinco still today. And Leo, to me, I've said this, he said it yesterday when he was talking to us all there, that look, I'm not one to go tell management or the coaches who to bring in and what to do. That's not my style, but I will guarantee you this, Leo, there'll be others behind the scene that will be speaking up and saying, listen, you want Giovinco still here? You want him happy? Do you want a championship? You better build that back end of defense to a quality defense that people can be proud of and people can say, hey, now we got a shot. You better bring in someone else that could help me score instead of just relying on me all season long, because Altidore and him did not connect all season long for whatever reasons. So to me, that's going to be key moving forward, Leo.
Of course, because yesterday actually he said basically that he was the one who brought the team at the playoff, and when they were there, nobody helped him to do better, and that's the franchise player, the player that most of the other represent the franchise in MLS, that you choose as your symbol, that is saying that your management wasn't good enough to have a team that was competitive with the others, and a coach that was good enough to have a good approach at the most important game in your club history. That's I think is important for the future of TFC. How they deal with this situation, how they manage to get out of this situation. If they go towards Giovinco in the right way, I guess Giovinco is going to stay happily, and next year we're going to have a TFC that is going probably to compete at the highest level. If they decide that it's not important, that the motto is like to say, okay, we're trying, we're doing the best that we can, we made a lot of goals, we sell a lot of shirts, that's good, but I don't think that an Italian pro player that is 29 years old and he just revamped his fame in Europe is going to stay.
And I couldn't agree with you more. Leo, just before we let you go, I think this is the most delicate, the most important offseason in TFC's history. They've got the Golden Boot winner, an MVP in my mind, the most important signing, I believe, in MLS history, a guy that has earned every single penny. Now, it's so important, so vital that you build around him. You help him get to that final and win it all. And how they go about that, you and I have discussed this. I truly believe they need to go knocking on the door again in Italy to bring over a quality veteran defender who knows how to play a rough and physical style that will adapt to MLS. Who that is, we don't know. I mean, Santa Croce would have been a decent fit, I believe. Galoppa was not part of this equation. And to me, I think you need to bring another Italian player here of the same mentality, the same hunger, the same desire, and not over the hill in the age to help out Giovinco succeed and get to the MLS final. That's what I believe. Your thoughts as we close it out, Leo?
I'm absolutely 100% agree with you. And I guess that is important probably for Giovinco to have another Italian, not only for Giovinco, but also for the market and for the relationship with Giovinco's entourage is important but it's also important that you put the players in their best fit, where they best fit. Bradley is another issue. You have to make Bradley play where he belongs, not to do everything so that you waste a DP position for a player that you made play where he doesn't belong. And I mean, two central defender at least and one fullback, because you cannot play a playoff game with Jackson as a right fullback.
Leo, great to have you on. It's going to be an interesting few weeks. It's going to be an interesting start to 2016. I'm sure we'll start hearing things in the next few weeks of possible players linked to TFC, and I'm sure that we'll hear possibly something, who knows, about a loan to a club in Europe for Giovinco. We know that he said there's nothing on the table yet, but hey, who knows? We're hearing that Pirlo possibly to go to Inter. We're hearing some other guys that are heading from other MLS clubs. So who knows? I mean, I wouldn't discount it, and I wouldn't count it out 100%. And to me, that's going to be interesting the way that all unfolds as well. Leo, great of you to join us. As we let you go, what's your Twitter handle and what are you writing right now, Corriere?
My Twitter is Morumbi79, Morumbi, and we are writing stuff about, we are trying to write stuff about Giovinco next move, because as you said, he said anything yet is open, but that yet it means that something could be opening in the last few days. So let's see what's going to happen.
Outstanding. Leo, thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll talk as the final of MLS gets closer and closer, my friend.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for
Leo
having me.
Molinelli, a class act. What a gentleman. He knows his stuff. And boy, oh boy, on Twitter, we